On number format exception. I have a playlist on exception, and this is the fourth or fifth exception which I'll be covering on the playlist. So let's talk about what number format exception is. So in Java, number format exception is a runtime exception. I'll explain what a runtime exception is. That occurs when an application attempts to convert a string into a numeric type. Like, say for example, we have a string input, and just like this, say we have an integer, but that is in a string format, and we are converting it to either integer, float, or double. Okay, so what happens is that in Java needs that number to be in that particular format to work with. Like, we have a integer, and that is in a string format. We can't store that inside an int variable, so that's why that conversion is needed. And uh, and uh, we perform this integer.parse or double.parseDouble or float.parseDouble. So I'll give you a practical example of where this is needed. Is that, say for example, you in the browser, you have redirected to a read-only page or a get page. Say for example, a payment detail page. So there it redirects to the payment detail page using just a payment ID, and usually that could be an integer or a yeah it usually it is an integer. So that integer is coming from the front end to the back end to the get API call. And there, if someone is say for example, instead of 1 2 3 4, change that to say ABCD. So in that case, system will catch that, and it will try to convert that into an integer, but then it will not, and then it will throw up an exception. So something like this, say for example, this is a string which we got from the URL, and we are trying to parse it. So if that is literally an integer in string format, then it will be parsed properly. If not, then we will get a number format exception. So this goes for integer, double, float, all these values. Say, can you see this? So this is a string which is passed from the from the browser or from the URL, and then when we are trying to parse it, it will throw an exception called number format exception. So these three are the examples, or the standard examples through which we can understand that. Let's go to the code. So as I was saying, it is a runtime exception. How? If I put this input in this place, so here see, most IDs are built with auto compilation. So it has compiled it, and the compiler found no errors over here. Can you see no errors over here? So at compile time, we won't be able to understand what where the issue is. Basically this is a runtime exception, not a compile time exception. So I'll give an example of compile time error detection. So see, this method takes in a string. Can you see this? This is a string. So instead of saying string, if I pass a number, then see, if we got an error stating required type string but provided integer. So that's why so this is an example of a compile time error detection. So now let's replace that to an to the example. So here we are not catching any exception. We are just pulling the value and then parsing it directly. So if I run this, system will come up with a message stating that number format exception is caught for input string 1. So since 1 is not a number, even after parsing, even after converting this into an integer, so hence we got this at line number 65, which is over here. So number format exception has been thrown. Okay, so this is the message from the number format exception. And to prevent this, we just need to put this inside a try catch block. Say if let's comment out these two. So let's run this now. We can see if now I have run this, and it says the exception is caught, and we have this message stating input is not a valid integer. So either we can do this or simply return null instead of the number, or return some -1 or something, which indicates that this is an invalid operation. And now if I change this to say a number, then I got the value 67. This is an integer. If we want, we can also print. I think it's not needed for this example. So let's move on. So here we can see this parseInt is an internal method of integer class. So similarly we have parseDouble for double class, and parseFloat for float class. So this is a small topic anyways, so I hope you got this is clear. And now we will be moving into some more exception classes, so just follow the playlist, and I'll upload more complex exceptions, and I will explain that in clear fashion in this tutorial, in this playlist.